Today's curiosity is assisted by Moon Lake Dark Ale from Farmery Brewing in Neepawa, Manitoba. But as is becoming common, they don't have any tasting notes on the can. I guess I'd describe that as a fairly sweet, malty kind of a dark ale. Not too bad. Not as roasty as I'd expected, but not too bad. So today I'm taking a look at this so-called tactical flashlight that I got in a mailbag not that long ago. It is, as you can see, rechargeable with a USB-C connector on the back side. There is a power switch on the front. It has a little battery percentage display there. You can zoom the light spot that it makes by moving the lens around, as it suggests there. It's got 3 modes: bright, dim, which might be PWM'd, but I'm not seeing flicker, so that's kind of neat. And the third one is, of course, the annoying strobe mode, and then back off again. If you leave it on for, I think it's about 30 seconds, then just push the button, turns it off. But if you do it less time than that, it goes through its modes again. Other than that, there's not that much special about this thing. It's quite lightweight for what it is. It is plastic, of course. And yeah, there's not much else to say about it. However, its listing claimed that it could be used as a power bank, but when I plug into the USB port there, I don't get any output from it. And even if I plug in a USB-C to USB-C cable to try and charge something like these earbuds, nothing happens. So this thing is lying to us about having a power delivery output or a USB output. Here's the listing that I got it from. It's claiming ridiculous amounts of lumens of brightness. It's claiming 100 watts. It's not doing any of that. That's very obvious. And it is certainly not able to charge anything from its output. So I wonder what other lies this thing is telling. And I guess the best way to find out the answer to that question is to open it up. Now it looks like it's a molded seam right up the sides of it. This comes off, which takes the lens out. It's not a horrible lens, I guess. Revealing the LED, which is much smaller than it looks without the lens in place. That is not even a 50-50. That's like a 20-20 size or something. But it's got this interesting little bubbly dome on the front of it, which I assume is its phosphor to turn it to white, but it has kind of a lensing shape to it, I guess. Maybe that interacts with this lens. I don't know. Anyway, what can we do to get deeper into here? Does that unscrew or anything? No. There is one screw hidden down here at the bottom. Let's see what happens there. Does that reveal anything? Oh yeah, that kind of separates a little bit. I can see the battery inside there. It's an 18650, only 800 milliamp hours. Wow, that's why it's so light. How do we get this out of this end? Oh, okay. That was unexpected. Looks like there is some threading up there, but I don't know how I got that off. Is that maybe... Oh, that does turn. Okay, and I wasn't really turning it. I must have just stripped it out. Anyway, here we go in 2 pieces. There is the little lens and the push button. There is a teeny tiny little circuit board. Still works. That's good. So there is the actual LED on a little circuit board. It's very similar to the circuit board that you get these 1-watt lights on, but as you can see, that 1-watt LED is much physically larger than this one here, so I don't think it is the same thing. I could be wrong, but well, I don't know. We'll place your comments down below, I guess. So there is the entire guts of it. It is an aluminum-backed circuit board on the LED, so that'll dissipate some heat. As I mentioned, that is only an 800 milliamp hour battery, so that's not all that great. And there is the circuit board. Got one little 6-pin chip there. CASOY. I was expecting something more like a DW01, but I'll see if I can look that up. Okay, I cannot find that guy anywhere. Maybe my Google foo has failed. Feel free to prove me wrong in the comments. This main chip over here, presumably some sort of a microcontroller, does not have any markings on it. This little transistor here, though, calls itself a 2302D. And that I found some very limited information on. It is basically just a little MOSFET. No surprise there. High power, high current handling capability, 2.9 amps. Sure, that's probably driving the LED. I suppose I could take a few minutes and just draw up a quick and dirty schematic of this thing. Doesn't have to be fancy. There's not that much going on there. And assuming that the pads aren't, or the traces aren't running underneath things where I can't find them, I should be able to draw this out. Grab a drink, settle back. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I didn't promise you a fancy schematic. I promised you a quick and dirty one, and there it is. There's not much going on here. So over here we have the mystery 6-pin lithium-ion charging chip. The USB plus and minus connects to it on pins 2 and 4. Pin 2 is the battery minus, which is also the circuit common for everything. Pin 3 is the battery plus. There's a couple little capacitors there, just doing the usual smoothing and decoupling and whatnot. Pin 6 has a what is that, a 2.2K resistor pulled to the circuit common minus, and there's nothing else that I can see going on the other 2 pins on that thing. Pretty straightforward. Probably, like I said, just a fairly generic chip. If it was 8 pins, I would have thought it was something like a TP4056, but it's only 6 pins. It's doing a similar job, I've got to assume. The rest of the circuit is this mystery, probably microcontroller. I don't know. Pin 14 goes to the battery minus. Pin 1 goes to the battery plus. It's got its own little decoupling capacitor. Pin 7 goes to the little pushy button switch, which goes to the negative rail. I could not find where this goes because it disappears underneath, but the gate of this MOSFET goes up to the chip clearly. It has a 10K pull down between the gate and the source, and the drain goes off through a 0.56 ohm resistor to the LED and back to battery positive, and that is the entire thing. Oh wait, no it isn't. The display is on pins 8 through 13 of this thing, so again, probably microcontroller, right? Sure. Now the big question is, can I get this back together so that I can use it? I probably should actually replace that with a bigger battery, but for now I'm just going to stick with it. It does the job. It's not going to last forever, but then again, it's not drawing a huge amount of current out of this little LED here, I don't suppose. Didn't notice this before when I was tearing it apart, but there are screw holes up there as well as down at the bottom. But this is the only one that actually had a screw in it. That one didn't. It was just captured by the lens holder thing. So maybe I put that in there first. It's kind of friction fits. Jam that on top of it. Or does that go better this? There's pins on this side. Let's stuff that in there first then. Okay. Battery kind of up the middle. That guy on there. Let's see if I can get that together there. That kind of fits, all right. And this, I guess I just screw it back on, hope for the best. There we go. Well, that's holding that all together, and the screw back in there, and nobody ever knows. As I said, I will probably eventually replace that cell, but I might as well use it the way it is for now. Put the lens back on and Screw that cover back on. There we go. Good as new. Not that new it was all that great a thing anyway, but yeah, it does a job. It doesn't do what it promises. It's probably overpriced for what it promises. It's not that much brighter than one of these dollar store ones, except for the lens that focuses the light. And the low setting, it's pretty much the same. Sorry about that flash. But yeah, I mean, it's a flashlight. Might as well use it as one, I guess, but I wouldn't recommend overpaying for it, and I certainly wouldn't recommend believing that it's 300,000 lumens or that it's a power bank. It's just a flashlight. Oh, I hope you found that slightly interesting. It certainly confirmed my suspicions that it's not what it says it was, but so be it. I wasn't really expecting it to be a high quality thing anyway. As I said during the mailbag where I opened this thing, I'm willing to waste my money so you guys don't have to. So thanks for watching. I appreciate that. Questions or comments down below. I'll talk to you later.